ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Om. Today we will take up first Suktam 53 from sage Vamadeva on Savita. Chandas is Jagati. In this sukta, Savita represents the soul of the sun, who is none other than the manifested self. Tat devasya savitur 4.53.1. We worship the most excellent wealth of Savita, the soul of the sun or the manifested self, who is the knower of the Supreme Spirit, Paramatma, and is resplendent, by which that abode brings knowledge for a meditative sacrificer by his own effort. May that shining one, the sun, present himself in front of us at the end of every night. Savita, the manifested self, is a knower of the self, Supreme Spirit. Wealth of Savita is the light of spiritual knowledge. That Savita brings enlightenment to a person meditating on birthless Brahman. The sun is one of the material manifestations of Savita. This is implied in the Rig. Divo Dharta Bhuvanasya Prajapati 53.2. He is the upholder of the space and Lord of all subjects in this universe. He is very wise. He covers himself with the wonderful armor of golden colored spiritual light. That all-knowing Savita, extending his rays, fills the world with light, and he generates the admirable moon or happiness or bliss. The manifested self Savita imparts existence to all material objects in the universe. Savita, wearing an armor of golden spiritual light, appears as the sun or gives Sat to the sun. In physical terms, the sun illuminates the entire solar world. By giving his light, he generates the moon. In the spiritual sense, by giving light of knowledge to a meditating sacrificer, Savita generates bliss in him. With his spiritual light, or sun with his light, Savita gives Sat to moon or Atmiya Bhavamana Soma 4.53.3. Apra Rajamsi Divyani Parthiva. Apra Rajamsi Divyani Parthiva 53.3. This resplendent Savita fills all these celestial and earthly worlds with his presence and spiritual radiance, and generates admirable speech for the establishment of Ruta. He extends his arm-like rays for the protection of his subjects after establishing the universe in proper order at the end of night of dissolution. Savita bestows existence on the universe made of matter. Only Savita reveals Ruta, governing the manifested nature through Vedic speeches. Savita, the manifested self, creates the universe at the end of night of dissolution and protects it afterwards. The sun protects the solar world with his arm-like rays, daily appearing at the end of the night. This ruk may imply both the meanings mentioned above. In other words, the same Atma, which is in all creatures, causes the appearance, birth, existence and disappearance, death of objects in the universe. 4.53.4 Adabhyo Bhuvanani. The resplendent Savita, who is invisible or unmanifested, causes the manifestation of the project of the universe. He protects Ruta and extends his arms for protecting his subjects in the universe. Sticking to Ruta, eternal laws of dharma, he shines as the Lord of this great and vast universe. 53.5 Trirantariksham Savita Mahitvana. Savita by his greatness pervades the three entities existing in the atmosphere, the three worlds, the three shining objects, the three kinds of light and three types of earth. He protects us with three kinds of laws or vows. The three entities in the atmosphere are air, water and energy. The three worlds are the space, atmosphere and the earth. The three shining objects are the sun, lightning and fire. The three kinds of spiritual light are those which bestow existence, consciousness and bliss. Three types of matter existing in the earth are solid, liquid and gas within the earth. Three types of force are sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. 53.6 Brihatsumna Prasavita. He is the revealer of happiness, is the establisher and controller of both movable and immovable objects. That resplendent Savita may grant us the three-tier shelter and happiness and cause the removal of all miseries. Great happiness is the one associated with self-knowledge. Most of the virtues attributed to Savita here have already been dealt with in earlier ruks. Three-tier shelter refers to the three layers of bodies, gross, subtle and causal, that cover the abode of the self. Three types of happiness correspond to those experienced by the three bodies. Physical body happiness, mental happiness is peace, and spiritual is bliss associated with the self. 4.53.7 Agandeva Pritubhi. May the resplendent Savita come to us, causing our life to prosper through all the seasons. May he bestow upon us wealth, food and good progeny. May he give us bliss incessantly by nights and by days. May he heap on us wealth of noble offsprings. This ruk contains simple prayers which do not require any explanation. This is the last ruk of the sutta, and we go to Suttam 54. This is again from sage Vamadeva, Devata Savita, and Chandas Jagati and Trushtu. 54.1. Abhut Deva Savita Bandhyo, resplendent Savita, came into being. He should be glorified by us in daytime and at night. This is to be told to all by leaders of men now. Also, he is the giver of excellent prosperity and bestower of happiness. Concept of Savita as creator, symbolizing the manifested self or the unmanifested self, was evolved by enlightened souls for explaining the creation of this material universe from matterless permanent self. To people who believe in the reality of universe, this sutta is intended to explain this concept that Savita reveals self-knowledge to deserving men, as elaborated in the next track. He gives prosperity and happiness to all. Devebhyo hi prathamam. O resplendent Savita, you confer upon meritorious sacrificers and enlightened souls the most desirable joy of immortality. At first, they who give themselves up to you, you cover them from all sides with your preserving powers and give them ideal lives. The book talks about enlightenment and the fact that Lord Savita protects enlightened souls with light of spiritual knowledge. Ajeti yachagruma deive jane. O Savita, if we have committed any offense due to ignorance or through many supporters with the help of poor or of clever or of influential persons or through human covetousness against enlightened souls or common men, then may you make us free from the sin of offending you. This is a simple and beautiful prayer which everyone should be able to understand. This prayer could as well be addressed to witnessing self present within oneself. 4.54.4. Na pramiye savidur devyasya. The truth of the resplendent Savita is this: he upholds the whole universe which is not fastened to him, and possessing good fingers, he makes the extensive form of the earth and the body of the space. From this work it should be abundantly clear that Savita symbolizes the unmanifested self. Though Savita causes the manifestation of this material universe, the universe is not attached to him. This is true even in the case of individual bodies of living beings, meaning thereby the so-called Jivatma or witnessing self is not attached to the body. How can non-matter Atma be attached to a material body? Such an attachment can only be imaginary. It is explicitly stated here that Savita is the creator of matter from the space to earth. Indra Jeshtan Brihadbhya Parvadebhya. 54.5. O Savita, you make from the great clouds the manifested forms of Indra, air, energy and water, and dwellings for them where they could live comfortably. as you control more and more living forms, these forms stand to glorify your great wealth and prosperity. Here, great clouds may stand for ignorance. From ignorance of the self, Savita causes the creation of Indra, the manifested self, and then air, energy and water, along with their dwellings, the atmosphere, namely the atmosphere. More and more objects made up of these five basic forms of matter continuously appear and disappear, enhancing the glory of their creator, Savita. Last stroke in the sutta. Yete trirahan Savita. O Savita, may all these objects created by you unfold the threefold prosperity day by day. May Indra, the space, and the earth, rivers with waters, and Aditi, Mother Nature, through her sons, bestow upon us happiness and prosperity. Threefold prosperity implies physical, mental, and spiritual prosperity. This prayer could be addressed to Savita, the Creator. Second half of the Rik is addressed to the manifested self Indra and other manifested forms mentioned in the Rik. From the Riks in this sutta, it should be perfectly clear that Savita is a symbol of the unmanifested self. Unmanifested self is the base of the manifested universe, which is nothing but an exhibition of nature of infinite objects made of matter and hence unreal. We go to next suktam from sage Vamadeva only, suktam 55 on Vishvedeva, Chandas, Trushtup and Gayatri. Ko Vastrada Vasava Ko Varuda. 55.1. O beneficial beings, who is your protector? Who is your acceptor? O sons of Aditi, the space and earth, please protect us. O Mitra and Varuna, please protect us from mighty mortal foes. O enlightened beings, who serves your treasure in a non-violent sacrifice? Protector of all gross and subtle manifested objects is the manifested self Indra. He only is their acceptor. May the shining beings born out of ignorance protect the sacrificers who believe in their existence. The seer of the sutta is the one who serves the enlightened souls with their treasure, namely knowledge of the self. Prayedhamani purvyani 4.55.2. Those who respect the origin, names, and places realized by ancient scholars are intelligent discriminators, throwing the light of knowledge. They who are non-violent and are performers of noble deeds are accomplishers of sacrifices and knowers of Vrita, shine as destroyers of miseries. Ancient sages have attained the abode of the self, which is the starting point of all creation. Those who respect the self are seekers of truth. They are intelligent discriminators, etc. Rest of the Rik needs no explanation. For 55.3. Astya Maritim. By these worshipful hymns, I invoke the homestead, Mother Nature, Aditi, the flowing rivers, and prosperity of for friendship. In the same way, may daytime and nighttime make the coming of dawn and night inviolable for us. In this hymn, the seer of the Sukta deals with the abode of the Creator, the Self, source of creation, ignorance, and manifested matter like water. Second half of the Ruk is self-explanatory. May the sacrificers be not harmed during day and night. This is just the gist of the second half. 4.55.4 Vyaryama Varunacheti Pantha. May Aryama and Varuna show us the path to truth. May the master of food and wealth Agni unfold for us the prosperous path and unimpeded motion. May Indra and Vishnu, admirers of truth, like leaders of men, come to our beautiful home and bestow happiness on us. No comments on this. 55.5 Parvadasya Maruta. I seek the protective powers of the Lord of the clouds, of the Maruts and of Bhaga, giver of divine happiness. May the Lord save us from future sins and crimes like a friend. May Mitra protect us. Indra is considered as the Lord of the cloud or ignorance, or as a matter of fact, Lord of all manifested forms, gross as well as subtle, since he is often thought of as the manifested self. As such, overall meaning of the Ruk should not be difficult to comprehend. 55.6 Nurodasi Ahina Budhnena. O shining space and earth, along with the cloud in the atmosphere, like those who desire to cross the ocean, we praise you for desirable wealth associated with water. May you uncover for us the sweet-sounding flowing water streams. May the space, earth and atmosphere together generate rainwater for living creatures on the earth. The sun in the space provides energy. Atmosphere serves as the home of water vapor, and earth acts as a source for producing rainwater. Persons wanting to cross the ocean of samsara meditate on the cause of manifestation of matter. Meditating on basic forms of matter, one can attain at the birthless state, which is its source. Devairno Devi Adityar Nipadu 455.7 May the enlightened Aditi, Mother Nature, protect us along with enlightened souls on the earth. May the glorious protector, who is ever attentive, protect us. We should not violate the summit or high teachings and food of Mitra, Varuna and Agni. Enlightened souls know that ignorance is the source or mother of all manifestations of nature. Glorious protector could be Indra or the manifested self. May the enlightened souls reveal self-knowledge to the sacrificers, thereby protecting them. But at the same time, the imaginary shining should also be talked about in these hymns and not neglected altogether. 4.55.8 Agnirishe. Agni is the master of all wealth as well as the master of all prosperity. May Agni give us all these things. Meaning of this ruk is quite clear in whichever sense Agni and wealth are interpreted. 4.55.9 Usho Maghonya Vahasu Nrute. O Usha, you are endowed with admirable wealth, true speech and good knowledge. May you convey to us many desirable objects. Here, most appropriately, Usha is to be taken as representing the soul or personified dawn. Then meaning of the Ruk follows automatically. 4.55.10 Tatsu na Savita Bhago Varuno. Last ruk in the sutta. With whatever wealth Savita, Bhaga, Varuna, Mitra, Adyama and Indra come to us for this knowledge sacrifice, may they give these wealth to us willingly. Next suktam is 56. Rishi is Vamadeva, Devata Dyava Prithvi, Trishtup Gayatri. Mahi Dyava Prithvi Iha. Here may the vast and excellent space and earth get praised with Vedic hymns, which are shining with purifying powers. The seed, which is the Creator, after establishing the most extensive lofty space and earth, creates sound with air along with happiness-giving water. Manifestation of different forms of matter caused by the seed, perhaps Purusha, is summarized in this ruk. It is also mentioned here that the sutta will be dealing with the space and earth mainly. 56.2 Devi Devebhir Yajate. The shining space and earth who are praised by worship-worthy enlightened souls are sustainers of Ruta, never transgressing them, who are showerers of happiness, are inviolable, are having wise men as their sons, and are leaders of the sacrifice of the Creator. They stay well praised with purifying Vedic hymns. Perhaps on this ruk some clarification may be necessary on the sacrifice of the Creator. In the Vedas, this universe is said to have been created as a result of a sacrifice knowledge sacrifice performed by the Creator. But in reality, enlightened souls visualize the process of creation of the material universe from birthless Brahman in a knowledge sacrifice described in 10.61 and 62. Sa itsvava bhuvaneshvasa. 56.3 Whoever created this space and earth, and who by his powers moves them, which are vast, serene, beautiful and unsupported in this universe, that wise doer of noble deeds alone is really there in all the worlds. The all-pervading, moving, witnessing self or Atmiya Soma is being referred to in this book. Since the self does not create any material object directly, ignorance of birthlessness of Brahman gives birth to the manifested self. The creator or Ishvara or Indra, he becomes the creator of all kinds of matter and objects made of matter. This is being implied by the Ruk. Now we go to 56.4. Nurodasi Brihadbhirno Varuthaye. O the space and earth, desirous of food and knowledge and sharing happiness with all, you are being worshipped by all people on the earth. Please protect us with our wives and spacious dwelling places. May we become masters of chariots, attendants, and knowledge. This is the prayer addressed to the space and earth, assuming them to be living souls. The Rik is quite explicit and does not require any explanation. 4.56.5 Pravam Mahi Deva, O great, resplendent and pure space and earth, for our progress we give glorifying tribute to you. No comments on that. 56.6 Punane Tanva Mitha Svena, O resplendent space and earth, by your own strong body, purifying each other, you come to lord over all objects in this universe. Together, you brood over the eternal cause. Personified earth and the space are said to be pondering over the cause of their birth. 56.7 Mahimitrasya. This is the last Ruk in the Sutta. The great space and the earth are fulfillers of noble desires of any friend. They help him to cross over, Vrita, filling him with joy and warding off the sacrifice of the Creator. This Ruk again is referring to the Creator's sacrifice from which this material universe came into being. But the Creator is a product of ignorance of the self. Once a person realizes the unreality of the manifested universe, he attains the bliss of Brahman. Then he is beyond ignorance and beyond the Creator or his sacrifice of creation. The Ruk in the Sutta, the Riks in the Sutta are interesting as well as thought-provoking. We finished today's discussion at this point. Viramastavat